What up? It's your man CJ, aka the High Value Nurse, checking in once again, back with another video. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about my recent experience and what I've been doing as of late. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, I am a hospice nurse, which I really do enjoy. But not only am I a hospice nurse, this past week I have been also doing psych nursing. I've been at orientation for psych nursing. So I am on this journey right now when it comes to nursing. And right now, I honestly don't know where it's going to take me, but I do know this. Autonomy is the most important thing to me right now when it comes to my career. Autonomy, having my way. And fortunately, I am in the I'm in the 10% of the population of nurses that actually enjoy what they do. I am looking forward to where this journey is going to take me. And with me having the autonomy that I have, I am on the road to doing some things that I've always wanted to do. And I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. So with that being said, I wanted to have this conversation because I want y'all to know that when you get into this field, one thing that you have to understand is that business is always going to be business. It is up to you to come with the tools or to develop the tools necessary to be able to get in and get out when need be. Why do I say that? Because again, it's business. Just think about it for a second. When you go and work for a lot of these corporations make billions and billions of dollars. And a lot of us as nurses and healthcare workers, we get paid pennies on the dollar. And once you start to understand the game, you can start to navigate a little bit more effectively. And I think that's really, really important because everything in life is truly about balance. And I've said this before, but to my newer subscribers that may not be too familiar with some of the past content, everything is about balance at the end of the day. You have to learn how to balance this thing called nursing. But the thing is, first things first, you have to have a goal. You got to be very intentional with your goal once you get into this game. Very, very intentional, because if you're not, you're going to find yourself in an endless cycle. Trying to figure out when to get off the merry-go-round. Because that's in a nutshell what nursing is, a merry-go-round. And it's crazy because some people get it, within the first year of nursing. Some people, it take 20-something years to learn it. But I'm giving it to you now, so that way, whenever you find this video, you won't have to learn it, and you'll have to learn it, but it won't take you years and years and years to learn it. Fortunately, I see things for what they are. And again, I'm grateful for the opportunities that I have in this field. I'm so grateful because being a nurse has allowed me to do some things that most people can't do and probably won't be able to do. And I'm very fortunate about that. I'm very thankful for that. I thank Jesus all the time that, I'm very grateful. Even though the bad stuff that does happen within this field, I'm still very, very grateful. And we still do have a lot of crazy things that's going on. But for me, my priorities, if you would have asked me, and when I first became a nurse within my 6 months, I would have gave you a completely different answer than what I will give you today. And that's the beauty of this thing. As a new nurse, and they still consider me relatively new. They say you're a new nurse for 5 years, 5.5 years, something like that. But if you would have asked me, like I said back then, what I wanted to do, you would have got a totally different answer. And again, you have to figure out what's best for you in this field. You really do have to figure out what's best for you. Being intentional, figuring out what's best for you, and having a plan. Those are the three components, in my opinion, to having a successful nursing career and letting this thing be a provider to you. Because once you understand the game, two things are going to happen. Either you're going to get mad, and you're going to piss and moan, and you're going to say it's not fair, and you're going to continue on the rat race. Or the second thing is going to happen is that you're going to say, okay, this is what it is. I get it now. How am I going to play this game effectively to where it works in my advantage? Two totally different outlooks for one not so good situation. You got to ask yourself which one of those people you're going to be when it comes to getting in this game. Having a plan is so important. And I wish they would have told us that in nursing school. Having a plan is so important. Having an exit strategy is so important. You dig what I'm saying? Now, again, if this is something that you want to do for the rest of your life, if you want to be a bedside nurse, if you want to be whatever kind of nurse you want to be, and that deals with patients directly, I'm not mad at that, because we need those people. But if nursing is something that you're using as a stepping stone to launch you into something that you really want to do and that you really love, I'm with you too, because that's me. And there's nothing wrong with that. And don't let people try to shame you into believing that, oh, you need to do it because you love it. That's cap. That's cap. Do you need to love nursing? No, you don't need to love nursing. But you do have to have compassion. You do need to have empathy. You dig what I'm saying? But you don't have to love something to be good at it. You dig what I'm saying? So with that being said, develop that plan. Be very intentional. Put you up some money as soon as possible. And live below your means. You dig what I'm saying? Right now, I'm in hustle mode right now as I prepare, to go out here, grind, get to it. While I'm in hustle mode, I still do take my time for myself, because I realize that when you go super hard and you are the breadwinner or you are the provider, you still have to take time for yourself, but you still got to go hard. You have to have a plan. And I've become very intentional over the last few months, graduating from school, preparing for NCLEX and everything like that. So to me, as I've told you all before, it's all about building what I want, building the world that I want, and nursing giving me the option and the tools to do so. I refuse to be one of these miserable nurses out here that come to work every single day, that have no plan, that have no structure. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like, here in Michigan, we got something called daily pay, where you can get paid like every single day. And don't get me wrong, I've used daily pay and everything like that. But I think with situations like that, where you can get paid daily, at first I thought it was a good thing. Now I think that, including other things, but that right there is going to be one of the main things that keep a lot of nurses trapped. I see a lot of nurses, RNs, LPNs, all kind of people that use this daily pay, and they use it every single day, and they overspend, and it keeps them trapped. That's a person with no plan. You dig what I'm saying? And no financial discipline. And don't get me wrong, I used to do it. Thankfully, though, my jobs that I have, my hospice job and my psych hospital job, they don't have daily pay. You dig what I'm saying? Now, again, some people use daily pay and they may need it, and nothing wrong with that. If you need it, you want to jam, you trying to get yourself together, by all means. But I do think that is going to be one tool that's going to keep a lot of new nurses broke. New nurses, y'all got to have a plan. Have to have a plan. But that daily pay is going to keep a lot of people broke. So my advice to you, if you're a brand new nurse, you've never ever had daily pay, don't even install it on your phone. Learn how to manage your money so you can survive from bi-weekly to bi-weekly, because surviving day to day ain't good. And get it to the point to where you don't even have to rely on that or depend on that. And now, if you want to buy, if you like Jada Pinkett and set it off, you want to buy Nate, then do what you got to do. But solely relying on that, that's not the business, ladies and gentlemen. That is not the business. And hopefully, you know, hopefully we won't have to continue to be in situations that where we need to rely on that. But having a plan is so important. So stepping stone. I'm really on that entrepreneurial tip for real, because the more and more I get into this career, the more and more I start to see the game for what it is. And I'm not mad. Somebody had to build the game for themselves. You dig what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. I think in healthcare, people should be a little more empathetic, but that's not the case when it comes to a lot of these corporate CEOs, and it is what it is. So, are we going to cry about it? Or are we going to do something about it? I'm going to do something about it because I know how the game is ran. And I can create my own game over here. You dig what I'm saying? And run it the way that I want to do it. So, that's all I had to say. I just want to get that off my chest. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss none of the content that we got popping up today. Make sure you go to the highvaluenurse.com, get you some merch up there. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't do nothing else, get paid. Young Nurse, get paid. New ebook coming very soon. I'll let y'all in a minute. Peace.